My name is Charles van Sandwyk. I'm an artist and a writer, and I came from South Africa many years ago when I was 11 and moved to Canada, and this country very graciously took me in. And a few years ago, Waisiki Doughty and I wrote this book together. It's a poem about Canada. We both are lads from other lands, and we're very lucky to be here. The poem is called Canadian Content. You know, for many years you'd hear the CRTC and politicians saying, what's the Canadian content on this or that? Well, I think that's absolute rubbish. All the Canadians I've met have embodied the concept of contentment, and that's what I wanted to get across in this poem. This poem is called Canadian Content. I am but a wanderer in this endless land of yours. I've clambered up the snowy peaks, I've paddled at the shores, I've braved the icy summer lakes to warm in autumn sun, and sat among a host of friends each time the day was done. Who chose this great white winterland so cloaked in dignity that on its fertile mountain slopes would grow the Christmas tree, the Douglas fir, the cedar bough, the fragrant scented pine, and from their lofty branches gazing, two green eyes divine. The cougar in her elegance, a credit to her race, prefers this tranquil shadowland with lots of quiet space. I'd like to introduce the greatest woodsman of them all. Last time I checked, he stood at 9'7" tall. A fisherman, a forester who seldom combs his hair. Why think about that massive chap we call the grizzly bear. Rather toothy fellows wearing clever paddle tails invite you in for toasted birch and grilled freshwater snails. Yummy. And though the entrance to their home is very, very wet, it's not the sort of welcome that you're likely to forget. The stately rack, beshadowing a softly rounding nose, wanders through the misty field on pointed velvet toes. His eyes look up to heaven when the daytime fades to night, for boldly your emblazoned sky is filled with northern light. Your strength lies not in boastfulness, nor raucous hero cries. You watch the empty tundra plains, there's patience in your eyes. The savage earth, the solitude, won't heed the tamer's hand. Yea, though it fails to conquer us, nor will we break this land. Sometimes you're nervous to approach what's clearly up ahead, and like the hoary marmot, you'd feel safer back in bed. At times you'd think the rocky path would make you worn and tired, and yet you climb relentlessly as one with God inspired. For so it is with this great land and its endless sky, you don't quite feel the gravity until it's passed you by. Though I was but a stranger to this majesty of yours, I follow now your cloven tracks, I touch your gentle paws. I now am well acquainted with what once was lost to me. A place of such magnificence can only set you free. And so one day, when I'm old and growing dim and weak, I'll gather my remaining strength for one last mountain peak. But if I'm past the climbing stage and I'm all but spent, I'll close my eyes, I'll think of you, and I will be content.